Let's start with our Dallas Cowboys. What do you want to name this defense? 877-881-1053. Got some good stuff coming in. I think the leader in the clubhouse is the Death Star defense. Pretty sweet. And we got some text on that yesterday, getting some now. Our good buddy Tom, who's a legendary Tolo, texted in Doom Raiders.
Tom, you're the man. Doom Raiders is solid, but I do like Death Star defense.
Death Star, I think, is the leader in the clubhouse, but we got some good ones coming in. We'll get to the defense here in a moment, but I did want to discuss the Cowboys offense here for a quick second. I saw that the Cowboys in week 1 offensively, they ranked 7th in the NFL in terms of using motions, highest percentage of plays with shift and or motion. So they, that was cool. That was cool to see. It's not necessarily the motion at the snap per se, but just in general, how often were you using pre-snap shifting and motion? And the Cowboys came in at 7th. Niners, Dolphins, Chiefs, top 3 teams in terms of pre-snap shift and motion. I'll take it as well.
Me too. Let's go.
That's a good start for those of us that enjoy the pre-snap motion and window dressing. And then the other thing I just wanted to throw out there, and it dawned on me yesterday when we were discussing the offense, I figured I'd go ahead and save it for today. But when you start talking about the changes from McCarthy to Kellen Moore, during the game in real time on the second drive of the game, they find themselves in like a 3rd and 8. And Dak throws short of the sticks to Tony Pollard. Mm-hmm. And that's one of those plays that just drives me nuts when it's 3rd down and you're throwing short of the sticks. But they were like at midfield or just in getting into Giants territory. So they were in that sort of gray area where maybe you want to go for it on 4th down. And that's what they did. It's now 4th and 3. Boom, here's Brandon Cooks. That trust level's already there.
Right.
But I was initially angry. Like, why are you throwing short of the sticks on 3rd down? And then the more you think about it, like, well, that's probably the beauty of having Mike McCarthy being your play caller and decision maker. He knew on 3rd down, and he probably communicated to Dak, hey, we got 2 plays here. So I don't know that it was necessarily Dak just, hey, throwing short of the sticks and then, oh, cool, we're actually going to go for it on 4th down. I'd like to think there was some buttoned-up communication now and everything's a little bit more streamlined. Your play caller is also your decision maker. So on 3rd and 8, when the quarterback throws short of the sticks, it's because he knows, hey, as long as it's 4th and manageable, we're going for it here. We got 2 plays to get the 1st down. And so I think that's something that is a positive.
Yeah, positive. And then also if he forces the ball and it gets intercepted, what's everybody talking about the next day, right? So take the smart play.
Yeah, I think that it's a situation, too. You'll see a lot of guys, if they feel like they're going to play 2 downs there, they'll run the ball, thinking 3rd and 8 that they're going to get somebody in nickel, and then they get you spread out and then try and pop a run. And then maybe you pick up 4 or 5 yards, and now it's a little bit, instead of, now it's the same thing you were just had. It was a 4th and 2. You'll see a lot of play callers, if they have a feeling that they're going to go for it on 4th down, they'll run it to try and surprise the defense and then go from there.
But I think you're right, because Mike has shown that that's kind of an area of the field that he's down, like 4th and short, like 3 yards or less. He'll be aggressive and do it.
Yeah, I'm just guessing here, and maybe somebody can back channel and try and figure that out, but I'm just guessing that on that 3rd and 8 play, Dak knew, hey, as long as we get about half of this or more, I know that we're going to go for it on 4th down, and I don't know if that was all communicated last year,
Yeah, I think that, to me, that's where you Dak's got to know that they're kind of in that area that you're talking about, that if he gets enough, Mike will probably go for it here, and especially with a rookie kicker. You got to kind of in that.
Yeah, maybe it's all unspoken. Maybe they just understand that, or maybe it was actually communicated before the play. But either way, I just found it to be encouraging, because most of the time when I see a 3rd down throw going short of the sticks, I'm just angry. Now we get more reason to laugh at the Giants if we didn't already have enough. The Michael Kay show. Michael Kay says on ESPN New York, he says, I have it on good authority that Brian Daboll had a huge party at his house on Saturday night. You're not throwing a party. He goes on to say you're not throwing a party if you're about to get your butt kicked by the Cowboys. So this took everybody by surprise, and that's what's scary. Nobody expected this sort of blowout. They thought that they were going to go play with them, and they didn't even show up. So throwing a party, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming Michael Kay's pretty plugged in over there. Brian Daboll, that seems insane to me. I mean, he seems kind of like a cool, let's have some brown liquor and a cigar kind of guy, but that usually is saved for the post-game victory party and not the night before week 1. Like, I don't know how you're that confident. When Daniel Jones is your quarterback, I don't know how you're that confident in anything 24 hours before a game, even if you're about to play the gosh dang Cardinals.
Isn't the entire team getting together in a hotel when you're in town?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I wonder if this is one of those things. Now, you get together before, but maybe it's one of those things like, okay, I've got this team meeting, and then when we're done with the team meeting, we're going to have this party.
But no player party with just like the salespeople and marketing teams.
I bet she had neighbor folk over and stuff like that. Maybe some people out of town came in for the game.
Oh, just friends and family type of deal?
Yeah, friends and family party, I think, is probably what this would be.
And then the other thing is, as a player, I'm annoyed. I'm like, what? We can't be trusted to hang out at home, but our coach is having a party over here. And there's just a lot of weird things. Like, this is the kind of party that you have the weekend before training camp. We're going to get together and do a little team building and bonding with the guys.
Yeah, a barbecue at the house. Like Nick Saban does that. He brings all the new players in and all that, the freshmen. And have a big pool party in the backyard.
That sounds fun, family friendly.
Yeah.
Something like that. But the night before the game, that's ballsy, Daboll. That's ballsy.
Hey, we got all day to recover, boys. Just nurse that hangover.
You're not allowed to be that ballsy when Daniel Jones is your quarterback. Jeez, Brian. Now, we also...
What'd I do? What?
Sorry, no. Daboll.
You pipe down over there.
I saw this from Mike Clay. How about this? Our guy, Kellen Moore.
Uh-oh.
The game script adjusted run heaviest offense of week 1 belonged to the Chargers of Los Angeles.
Is that a surprise?
I mean,
no, he likes to run.
I don't know. I mean, if you listen to Mike McCarthy at the end of it all, of like, we gotta, we need to run the ball. We're not trying to score all the points.
Mike just wants to run his way.
Mike wants to run when you have a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah,
Kellen doesn't get that.
He doesn't want to run Kellen Moore's way. He wants to run his way.
Kellen Moore would run the ball. He just would not do it at weird times.
And of course, his Chargers ended up losing and giving up a ton of points. I thought there was something to maybe when you run the ball a lot and like you get to keep your defense off the field. But maybe that's not a real thing.
Well, now Eckler
Tua was just really good, and so was Hill.
And Tyreek Hill.
Sure. I do not look forward to that, especially if Tua stays healthy. That game at the end of the year where you have to go. I'm not now worried about Buffalo, I guess, but I'll worry about the Dolphins. That offense.
They'll find a way to bleep them. They're a bit like the Jets. They can't have nice things for too long.
They're the the hunt category.
Now, but you know what's funny about that? For as dominant as a game as Tyreek Hill had, he played 65% of the offensive snaps.
That's stunning.
What does his numbers look like if he's playing the normal number 1 wide receiver percentage of snaps? Like, I don't know what CD Lamb played for the Cowboys the other night. I imagine it's far more than 65% of the snaps. I'm just like, gosh, dude. And he said he was going to go for 2,000 yards this year. You know what he's pacing?
Over 2,000.
3,700. So if he just has 10 more games like he had the other day.
Game, bro. If he had had like 75% of the snaps.
Very well could have.
That is wild.
I also saw this as you start looking at it, and you actually threw this out there as an idea going into the game, Dawson, of like Bill Belichick, ton of time to prepare for an Eagle offense that everybody's trying to sort of figure out right now. Even though it's not overly complicated, it's just they got great weapons all over the place and a great offensive line. It's like, how are we going to slow this thing down? And Bill Belichick did just that. And one of the things that Warren Sharp looks at is, how often, what percentage of your drives are you gaining first downs? What percentage of your drives are you just going 3 and out? And Philly was the 3rd worst offense in the sport over the weekend in terms of percentage of drives that went 3 and out. Now, hey, listen, 1 game sample. We take it all with a grain of salt. It's versus Bill Belichick in the rain in Foxborough. All right.
Copycat league.
But 62% of the time, the Eagles were offensively just going 3 plays and punting. Thank God they added a punter to that roster.
79% for CD playing this football game.
79%. Okay. And that's in a game that you had in the bag that if that's a normal, tight, 1-score-ish game, he's probably playing even more than that.
46 snaps in that game.
Okay. Thank you very much, Broadus. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the Eagles were a bad second-half team last year as well. So maybe the Patriots had something special. Maybe Bill Belichick laid out a template, or maybe the Eagles just have hot starts that cannot be sustained once defenses have an opportunity to adjust.
Yes, I remember they were the best second-quarter team in the NFL last year. Like, they would obliterate teams in the second quarter and build a lead.
The thing about, I always learned this from Mike Lombardi told me this about Belichick, that he would have a defense or 2 that he wouldn't use the whole game, and then all of a sudden in the second half you might see it. Like it's a 3rd down situation, he'd break something out that they hadn't seen.
They had some coverage. Romo during the broadcast says, I've never seen that before, and it's very rare that I'm watching a game and I've never seen the coverage.
You learn that.
Maybe
you kind of figure that
or
out.
maybe he did really put a new wrinkle out there.
Tony didn't watch tape in the second half of the year. Didn't they call him out for that?
They did.
There's probably going to be a lot of more formations over the next 5 years that Tony's never seen.
Never seen this before.
Called out,
Holy crap, what is this?
That's great.